In this video, we're going to look at how to set up uCollect to work with multiple currencies. But first, an important disclaimer. uCollect does not officially support multiple currencies. There are some significant limitations in the way uCollect works and the way Xero works that make working in multiple currencies problematic. That's not to say it can't be done, but that is to say that we don't support it. If you get into trouble after following these instructions and you need further assistance, there will be additional charges to set up or correct any issues that arise. If you have questions, please contact us at support and we'll do our best to help you. But bear in mind that this multi-currency environment is not officially supported. Now, having said that, if you follow these instructions well, you should have no issues. The only catch is if your clients choose the wrong methods, that could create problems later. But let's walk through the setup. The first thing you want to do in Xero is to make sure you have a bank account for each currency that you're going to be working with. In this example, we are talking about a US organization, which will have a USD as its base currency, wanting to send invoices in Canadian dollars. To make sure this works, we first need to make sure we have set up a Canadian dollar bank account in Xero. You might also want to set up a US dollar clearing account using for the Stripe clearing. So let's walk through the setup of those accounts directly. We're just going to create a new bank account. Under the name of the bank, we're just going to say none because there are no actual banks here. We're going to put the name Stripe Clearing USD, and the account type here will be other. It's in USD. We'll just give it a fake account number. And now we're going to do the same thing again for our Canadian Stripe Clearing. Change the currency to Canadian. You need to make sure you've set up the multi-currency in Xero first. Okay, so you can ignore that one. That was my test. Here you can see we have Stripe Clearing USD and Stripe Clearing CAD. That's the recommended approach when you're working, particularly in multi-currency. But the important thing here is that we have one account in Canadian dollars and one account in the US dollars. Next, we're going to go back to uCollect and we're going to set up the gateways correctly. So the first thing we'll do is look at what gateways are already in the system, and here you can see we already have a Stripe gateway created, so we're going to edit that, and we're going to make sure that we have the correct clearing account set up. So we're going to post this one to the Stripe Clearing USD account. We're going to give this a description. This is the internal description that you will see called Stripe USD, and then under description for the Pay Now service we're going to say credit card USD only, and this is what your customers will see on the Pay Now screen, and it's important that we separate out the two currencies and that the customer chooses the correct gateway. This is the only area where things can currently go wrong if these instructions are followed. Okay, so we've done our first Stripe gateway. The next thing we're going to do is set up a second gateway. Even though you only have one Stripe account, we need to have a separate gateway set up for each of the currencies. We're going to choose the Stripe Clearing Canadian dollar account here. The description is going to be Stripe CAD. I'm going to paste in the Stripe secret keys and make it available for Pay Now, and it's going to be credit card CAD only. So now we have two gateways created, one in USD, one in CAD. Each of them are connected to a single bank account in Xero that matches this currency, and that is really important. Now, if we go back to search our contacts, and we click on Pay Now for one of these customers, you'll see that Xero is telling us that this is set up as a USD $914 invoice, but both of the Pay Now accounts are available, and it's important that your customer chooses the correct one, that they choose the correct currency. If they choose the wrong currency, then when they get sent through to Xero, the payment will fail because Xero cannot process a Canadian dollar, or in this case a US dollar invoice, against a Canadian dollar bank account. It'll fail, and therefore we run the risk eventually of this maybe being attempted to collect twice. We do have steps in place to try and avoid this, however it's not infallible. We are working to limit the gateways to process only in the base currency assigned, but at present those are not in place, and therefore it's up to your customers to choose the correct currency. But if you follow those steps, which is first of all, make sure you've got multiple bank accounts in Xero for each currency. Step 2, set up the gateways, duplicate the gateway, one for each currency, so that we now have a one-to-one mapping between gateways and US and bank accounts in Xero. And then when your clients come to the screen, we're just going to have to hope that they choose the correct currency from the Pay Now or Pay Using section. Okay, that's pretty much it. It doesn't take long to set up multi-currency. As long as your customers follow the currency indications here, things will work very well. If they don't follow it, you will have problems, and you may need help to get them sorted out. That's it for now.